was always hot in my grandparents' house. Now, I'm not talking you should have worn short sleeves hot. No, it was more like August in Ethiopia hot. But growing up, I remember sitting right here, sweating, trying to figure out my relation to these people who don't only seem to share the same environmental needs as myself, but who had reached an age that I could barely comprehend. But my grandparents, they firmly believed in the 3 F's of life: family, faith, and food. Lots and lots of food. So for over 20 years, I bore the heat and religiously showed up to dinner.
The very day I turned 14, my father put me on a boat. In my pocket, he stuck 200 lira and the address of a cousin who lived in a place called Hoboken, New Jersey. The only advice my father gave me: Tengo familia. If you just said that in English, it would be, I support a family. But in Italian, it means more, much more. It means I am a man. I am doing well for my woman and my children. I have a reason for being alive.
Tengo familia!
I arrived to learn my cousin had left Hoboken for a faraway land called Brooklyn. So for 6 weeks I lived underneath a pier off the Hudson River every minute of every day, trying to figure out a way to earn enough money to get back home.
I was the middle sister of 7 girls, and Frank was the first man, no, the first person to ever notice me. He was working as a carpenter's apprentice, earning $1 a day, and I thought that was a fortune. And he promised me that if I would marry him, he would become a fine carpenter and build for me an entire house. And he did. He became a wonderful carpenter, and he built for me this beautiful home.
My grandmother, Ada, she never finished grammar school. You didn't even learn how to drive a car.
No.
But lock her in a kitchen with tomato, pasito, and garlic, and this woman is Einstein. By my 29th birthday, my parents, they moved to Florida, and my sister Melissa to San Diego. Now, before my sister left, she told me that the best thing about being an American is that you could live in the same country, but move 2,000 miles away. I stayed near my grandparents, and each Sunday I would ride the bus in from the city, but one Thursday, something happened to me. Something important. And I just couldn't wait to tell him. Hey, Gramps! Hey, Dad!
Hey, your grandmother's going to tell you to do something for her? Refuse.
Nicholas!
Nan, how are you? It's so good to see you.
To see you. I have something I want you to do for me, but first, you hungry?
No, Nan, like I said on the phone, I just have an important announcement to tell.
He has no time to do you any favors, Ada.
What did you have for dinner?
Chinese.
Ooh, Chinese?
Nan?
Ooh, that's not food.
Well, everyone else eating it seemed to think so.
Nicholas, 30 years ago, I had dinner at a Chinese restaurant. To this day, I have no idea what I ate. Let me make for you some food.
Nan, I'm full, okay?
Fine, I will make a sandwich.
Nan.
Look, sweetheart, you look hungry.
How? Tell me exactly how do I look hungry?
You're breaking my heart here, Nicholas.
A small sandwich, okay?
Fine. What do you want on it?
I don't care.
How about provolone and ham?
Perfect.
Fine. I will make for you a provolone and ham sandwich, and you tell your grandfather he can't drive no more.
Don't listen to her.
No. 2 days ago, we were in the Grand Union parking lot. He means to go in reverse, but instead we go forward.
I thought it was reverse. I put it in second.
Right into a Japanese car. Thank God no one was killed.
I barely dented the fender.
And 2 weeks ago, we were at 7-Eleven. He means to step on the brake, but steps on the gas pedal instead.
Yeah, we go very fast for about 2 feet.
Right into a Japanese car. Thank God no one was killed.
Gramps, we talked about this. You shouldn't be driving anymore.
You're telling me what to do? Hey, I used to change your diapers.
So you told me, and I appreciate that.
He never never change the diapers.
Gramps, you know it's just too dangerous for you to be behind the wheel.
I get in the car with him and I scream the entire way.
Yeah, she is a real pleasure to drive
All
with.
right, Nan, go make the sandwich. I'll talk to him about his driving. And could you please turn on the air conditioner? It's sweltering in here, Nan.
Oh, that's crazy. It's only the end of August.
But it's hot.
The air conditioner goes off 1st of August.
Fine. I will open a window. And you listen to your grandson.
Gramps, I just look. Gramps, you know something terrible could have happened to you.
I have to drive your grandmother to the store.
She can walk. Take the bus.
I only go close by, that's all.
And you still manage to get into accidents.
So what are you saying? I'm too old to drive?
And no, what I'm saying is your reflexes are just getting a little slow. That's all.
Nicholas, I'm all out of provolone. Do you want cheddar or Munster?
Whatever, Nan.
But I want to make it the way you like it.
How can you make it the way I like it if I don't even want it?
Don't talk fresh. Cheddar or Munster?
Cheddar, okay, Nan? I want cheddar.
Are you sure?
Yes, Nan, absolutely, 100%. I want cheddar.
But I got such nice Munster.
This is the woman you're listening to, so I can't drive.
Okay, Munster. Nan, all right, I want Munster.
Ha! I thought so.
Look, Gramps, I just don't want to get a phone call saying that you hurt yourself. Or Nan, or someone else. Okay.
My first car, 1941 DeSoto, cost $53 more than I could possibly spend. Oh, once I laid eyes on it, chrome wheels, black leather inside, gas was the most beautiful thing I ever saw. I worked 3 months nights shoveling coal into some restaurant furnace so I could get that 53. And when I finally bought that car, when I actually sat behind that dashboard, when I held that perfect new steering wheel in my hand, that's when I knew I could make a life for my family. If I could have the car, I could make a life. Tengo familia!
Come on. Thank you.
I have another set hidden in my tools.
Look, just promise you'll only drive in an emergency, okay?
Yeah.
I was the first in my family to get a good job with the union. It was in a Ford's automobile factory. And you want to know how I got the job? The way I got the job was I told them I was Irish. I had to. Those days, the most famous Italians in America were Pope and Sacco and Vanzetti. And did they look at us and think Pope? No, Sacco and Vanzetti, huh?
My father's folks, Nunzio and Emma. They both lived 2 doors down and they shared dinner every Sunday. Both children of hard-working but destitute immigrants. They were married young, at the age of 17, and had 2 sons, my father and his brother, Nick, who sadly was killed in Korea.
The day I married Nunes, my mama sat me down and told me something amazing. She said, Emma, just because you're his wife doesn't mean you're not as important as him. Speak up. Say what's on your mind. Don't become one of those women who gets lost behind their family.
So, I told Ford's that my name was Ian Sean O'Malley O'Sullivan O'Brien. They gave me a job.
So while Nunes went to work, I made us a beautiful life at home.
That's right. And I stood on an assembly line putting this nut on that bolt for 27 years to give my wife and my sons the life they deserve.
We struggled and made our way because we were a family. Tango familia!
Tango familia!
Tango familia!
They were also the loudest people that I had ever met.
You, Nicky!
Hi, Nicky! Hey, what a pleasure to see you on a Thursday, huh?
I'm so glad you came. I have something important to tell you.
Wait, Nicky, first I want to take a picture.
Of what?
Of you.
Why?
Well, I got 2 pictures left on this roll since last Easter. So, go stand by your grandmother and smile.
Look, I got one announcement.
Hey, it's 1 picture.
Gramps.
1 picture.
This picture, Hannah.
Oh, come on, man. All right, look, okay, Gramps, shoot.
But you don't look happy.
I'm not happy.
Why would I take a picture if you don't look happy?
Smile.
Hey.
Hey, dudes, make me a copy, I'll pay you for it.
Okay, I got 1 more. Come on.
No, enough of the photos, all right? Nan, could you get back in here, please?
Nikki, that present you bought for us, the one we don't understand, don't know how to use.
The answering machine?
Oh no, the other one, the CPU.
The VCR.
Right, we need the receipt.
It broke?
No, we just hate it.
We don't hate it, we just can't enjoy it. It's too expensive.
Why are you worried about the expense? I'm the one that bought it for you.
Well, give us the receipt, we'll give you back the money.
I don't want the money, okay?
Hey, Nikki, it's too much to spend on us for a BCP.
Wedding anniversary.
Fine, we'll keep $10.
We can talk about this later. What I have to say is important, all right? Nan!
Nikki! Guess where your grandmother wants to drag me again next Tuesday.
I'm sorry if I like to go places and do things. I'm a doer.
Atlantic City with the senior citizens from St. Anne's.
I just got one announcement, okay? Nan!
Hey, Nikki, you sit in traffic for 4 hours with a busload of 80-year-old Catholics, all of them carrying these giant bags of quarters. It's awful.
Listen to what he's complaining about. You get a free air-conditioned bus ride, and they give you $30 free in check.
That's great! Look, I got one announcement. Okay, look,
You want to know what happened the last time we went? I walked into Donald Trump's, cashed in my $30 chips, found a $5 buffet, ate all day, and came home with a what? What does that make? A $25 profit? Woohoo! Hey! Am I right?
I told him that money was not for him to keep. The Catholic Church gave him that money for him to gamble. Someday you put it in the poor box.
I'm not putting it in the poor box. We're poor. Hey, I'm giving it to Nikki.
We are not poor.
Come on.
Why are you giving me the $25?
I don't know. She won't let me keep it.
All right, here we are. I couldn't remember if you wanted cheddar or Munster, so I put on both.
How did I come from these people? My parents. Maybe I can understand that. But these people?
Nicholas had Chinese food tonight.
Hey, that's like eating cancer.
I also said I can't ride no more.
Good. The world just got safer.
All right, I'll get you the receipt to the VCR. I'll talk to you about your driving. And then, thank you for the sandwich. I'll eat it. And now, can I please just say what I have to say now?
He's getting married.
I'm not getting married.
Why not?
Can we save that argument for the holidays when we usually have it? Now, what I have to say is something entirely different.
What about Donna?
Donna and Nan, we broke up 2 years ago.
Hey, the way I remember it, she broke up with you.
Oh, she did. He was dragging his feet.
Can we move on now,
Oh,
please?
Nicholas, she had the nicest hair.
I was so sure you were going to get engaged, Nikki. Every time I went to a party, I'd take all the extra plastic knives and forks and save them for your wedding shower. I'll get it.
Nan, let the answering machine get it.
Oh, no, Nick, that machine broke.
How did it break? I just bought it for you.
I threw it out. Every time we pressed the button, somebody was yelling at us.
Those were people leaving you messages.
Oh.
Before I'm dead, I want to see you married.
Well, let me know when you feel you're going and I'll dig someone up. Now!
Nicholas, it's your parents on the phone. Nicholas had Chinese food tonight.
What? Your parents moved to Florida.
Heaven only knows. They spend the first 51 years of their lives nice and close to their parents.
Who raised them?
And then, boom, your father gets a little sinus condition. So they retire early and move to Fort Lauderdale.
To live with a bunch of old people who love humidity.
Frank, come say hello.
Hey, you're a good boy, Nicky. Staying near your family.
It's long distance, walk fast.
Hi, your son told me I can't drive no more. Come visit soon. Well, we'll sit in my car and pretend it's moving.
Give me that.
And then your sister gets married and moves to San Diego.
Who the hell moves to San Diego?
Man, Graham,
Nicholas! Nicholas, your mother wants you to call her after you tell us. She wants to know if we take it well.
We'll all find that out in a moment. Okay, could everyone please just sit down?
Aren't you going to sit?
No, I can say this standing up.
It's like he's gonna make a speech.
Well, if he wants to make a speech, let him make a speech.
It's not a speech. No, can I please just tell you to sit down?
Nicholas, before you make your announcement, who's hungry?
Man, this is a one-sentence announcement. It does not need to be catered to.
But I got such nice crumb cake.
With the big crumbs?
Yeah, from A&P.
I'm in!
I'll be happy sliver. Let me help these
Oh, I know.
I want a really big piece.
Yeah.
Nicholas, don't say your announcement yet. Don't say it. Don't say it.
Man, get back here. It's just...
Nicky, before I forget, I got you a mascot.
A mask card?
Yeah.
Aren't these for sick people?
2 Thursdays from now, the 7:30 Mass at St. Anne's will be set for you.
Why?
In hopes you'll meet a girl to marry.
And the priest agreed to this?
Hey, go to the Mass. Maybe you'll meet her there.
Hey, if you do go, Nicky, whatever you do, don't talk to Father Vincenzo.
Not to Father Vincenzo.
Hey, 15 years ago, him and I had a really big falling out.
About what?
I don't know, I just remember being right.
Right, here we are. Nice coffee.
Thank you, man. Okay, everyone, just please, I just have to say this one announcement, okay? Look, everyone, just sit down. Look,
Wait!
What?
I feel a draft.
Me too. What's open?
it's 110 degrees in here.
Hey, we're old, we're chilly.
Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot.
It's a good thing you got that, Nan. For a moment, I thought you were letting the air seep into the room.
Hey.
Now, does everyone have their coffee? Does everyone have their crumb cake? Does anyone else feel any unbearable drafts?
No.
Hey.
Gramps, come on, sir.
All right. All right, we're finally done.
Make me a coffee noodles, I'll pay you for it.
Can I please just say this now?
Hey, what you getting so upset about?
Oh, he always was anxious. Remember how he used to chew on his rattle?
Can we please not say the rattle story?
Oh, Nicky, we're just trying to understand you better.
Oh, the rattle story just explains it all. How many go I keep going to therapy?
What?
Nothing. I said nothing.
He said he's going to therapy?
What the hell is that?
He's going to a psychiatrist.
A foot doctor?
Head doctor.
What?
Nicholas, why are you seeing a head doctor?
He's my holy papal father apostle.
Oh, yeah.
Look, it's no big deal. All my friends go to therapy. It's just someone to talk to.
What kind of friends do you have, Nicky?
Look, I said it was no big deal,
Hey,
okay?
gee, can't you just talk to us?
How? I can't even get one announcement out.
Do you pay this person or is it covered with insurance?
Can we just move on now?
I hope you don't pay this person.
Nicholas, we listen to your problems for free.
Yeah.
A priest would too. Should I call a priest?
Always with the priest.
Oh, shut up! See, now I'm talking to my grandson.
You know, the other day, my back hurts. I hear her on the phone to the parish.
Nicholas, tell us your problems, man.
I come out of the bathroom and found Finelli standing there waiting to bless my spine.
Look, yes, I'm seeing a therapist, yes. But I won't be seeing him much longer.
Oh, thank heaven, Santo Cielo.
Which is what leads into my announcement. Now, can I please just tell you?
Yes.
All right, say your announcement. We're all listening very hard.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
Everyone quiet.
Okay. Okay. All right. Okay.
Say it loud.
Okay. I got a promotion. That works.
What kind of promotion?
Well, it's more of a better management position, really.
Tell.
Well, I don't know if I can really tell you. I don't think you really understand what it is that I do.
Hey, just because we wouldn't understand it doesn't mean we don't want to hear about it.
All right. Well, as I explained before, I work in advertising. Commercials. Well, I don't work on the commercials, you see. I work with the overall planning strategy of the commercials. Brochures and billboards and internal and external sales presentations. And now this is exciting. This is exciting. What I'm going to be doing is developing and implementing all of those strategies into the top 20 market.
Hey, whatever the hell it is you do, we are damn proud of you.
The thing about the promotion is I have to move.
Oh, wonderful! You can move in here with us.
Free rent! 4 meals a day!
The thing is, I have to move to Seattle.
Where the hell is Seattle?
Oh, wait. Oh, I know. Rosa Rinaldi has a beach house down there. You take exit 94 off the Parkway.
No, her house is further down by the big food town.
Stop! I know where Seattle is. It's in Washington.
Hey, no.
I'm not the close Washington either. The faraway Washington by California. All the way by California?
Nicholas, is this true?
In Washington State? Yes. Look, I just got the phone call this morning and my head's still swimming, you know. Well, now would be the time to take it, right? I'm young, I'm unattached, and there's really no reason for me to stay here anymore.
What about us?
Well, yeah, except all of you, but I'm
So you're leaving?
moving.
Right.
Yes.
You're leaving.
Look, I told my parents about it, and they think it's a wonderful opportunity. Besides, I grew up here. I went to school. I've never lived anywhere else.
I've never lived anywhere else.
I know this might come as a little bit of a shock.
Shock? Why should this be a shock? First, your parents moved to Fort Lauderdale, and your sister moves to San Diego. She gets married and has my great-grandson. My great-grandson. I have one great-grandson. And he's 3 years old. And I have seen him exactly twice.
Gramps.
Twice. You know what that's like? I have lived long enough to have a great-grandson. And he has no idea who I am, why I'm important to him. The last time we got off the plane, I was standing there, my arms outstretched. He took one look and ran away. He thought I was just some old person who wanted to annoy him with a hug.
Nicholas, I don't understand how you can just leave.
I just heard about this morning, and I wanted to be the one to tell you.
But, Nikki, your family's here.
It's late. And look, it was really great seeing everyone, you know, and Gramps, I have to catch the bus, all right? Look,
Nikki.
damn, slip boy. I have an 8 a.m. tomorrow morning about the promotion, okay?
All right, Nicholas, we will see you Sunday.
If we're still alive.
Okay, we'll talk about it more then, all right? Look, this is a wonderful opportunity for me.
Seattle?
Oh, look at that. He forgot his sandwich.
Oh, it's a 20-minute ride into the city. I'll make it without food.
Seattle?
Not to worry. He won't go.
You heard him. He says he wants to move away.
No, he didn't say he wants to move. He said he has no reason to stay.
So?
So we give him a reason.
Wonderful. That's wonderful.
I should tell him that the doctors did their tests and it has spread. I should tell him that if he takes the job, then when he comes to say goodbye, that'll probably be the last time we see each other. No one knows yet, not even my Emma. I'll tell her soon. I should tell him. Then maybe he'd stay.
Most companies have this unwritten rule. If you say no to a promotion, a better one might not come along. So that day, my boss sat me down and he told me, he said, Nick, this opportunity means that we have great faith in you. And this means that it'll lead to something even bigger. Well, as any young man can tell you, the attraction of a new life, well, it's as seductive as any lover. Well, that following Sunday, I went back to my grandparents. Now, I was expecting them to lay on the guilt or something fierce. Well, they didn't. No, see what they did? What they did was a lot worse. Hello?
Hey, hi, Nick!
When did you learn to play the mandolin?
Well, when I was a little boy, my father taught me. Your grandmother found this at a garage sale the other day. So last night I took a lesson they were having down at the high school.
The high school?
Yeah.
How'd you get there? You didn't drive, did you?
I walked 45 minutes in the dark, there and back. If I dropped dead, I left specific instructions. Deliver me to your doorstep.
Hey, Nikki!
Hiya! How are you?
Hey,
What's with the jackets and ties?
wow. We can't dress up to see our grandson?
So anyway, the move to Seattle. You've had some time to mull it over, huh?
Hey, Nikki, you want some nuts?
No thanks. How are you feeling?
Oh, hey, Nick. We feel good. Here, you have some nuts, huh?
No. Now, how are you feeling about the promotion?
Oh, we're very proud.
Nicholas, I thought I heard your voice coming in.
Man, about Seattle?
Oh, you look hungry. Oh, we'll be eating shortly. Uh-oh, why don't you do something with your hair?
Hey, Nan! Last time I was here, you were all miserable. Now it's like I didn't even say anything.
Hey, Nikki, how old are you now?
29.
29, and no family.
Hey, do you know that you're 8 years older than your Uncle Nicky ever was?
What brought that up?
Just been thinking about it lately.
Why?
Yeah, Nicky!
What, Nan?
How does your hair look today?
I combed it into an afro, Nan. What is exactly going on with you people?
Who is this you people?
We're not people, we're your family.
Something is going on. They're all being just a little too quiet.
I don't get it!
Boy, who could that be? Smile. Here we go. Get your head back.
Why,
time for dinner. Why don't you stay for dinner?
Hi,
Yes.
Emma. Well, if I had known there were going to be so many people, I would have brought 2 bottles of wine.
No, this is so thoughtful. Isn't Caitlin so thoughtful, Nikki?
I can't believe you're doing this.
Caitlin, I want you to meet my beautiful grandson, Nicholas.
Stop. Caitlin. It's Nick.
Hi, Nick. Good to meet you.
And I'm his other nanny. And if you call her Emma, you call me Ada.
Oh, of course, Ada. Hello.
And I'm Lucio.
And I'm Frank!
Good to meet you both. Nunzio and Frank.
And you seem like a girl that any young man would be lucky to have as his wife.
You're absolutely right, Nunzio.
All right, Caitlin. Everything came beautiful. We're ready to eat. Everything is just...
Can I just have a moment alone with Caitlin, please?
It's waking. It's waking.
My grandmother didn't mention that I'd be here, did she?
Oh, no, she didn't. No.
Well, in case you haven't noticed, this is a blind setup. You can run like the wind.
Oh, don't worry, Nick. I don't like blind setups any more than you do. Look, Emma's my friend, and I gotta say, dinner smells fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, that's how they get you. They suck you in with their food. Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I'm going to stay.
Are you sure? It's not too late to escape.
Relax, Nick. We'll just have a, I don't know, relaxing Sunday dinner.
Caitlin, even in the most generous moments, I would not say that these people are the most relaxing.
She's very pretty, isn't she, Nikki?
Yes, ma'am.
I did good.
Yeah. All right, Caitlin. You look hungry. Come. Stop the mandolin. Here we go. Frank.
What? Oh,
All right, we'll sit right there. All right, Nicholas, get out. Your prayers have been answered. Come on. Right down here. Let's see. Where should we have Nicholas at? Oh, no, right here. Oh, there we go. Oh, very nice. Very nice. Turn my chairs away from me.
Can we just eat now quickly, please? Let's eat.
Why don't we say grace?
Since when do we say grace?
Shut up. Yeah.
Say grace, Frank.
What? Really?
Yeah, say it.
Well, all right, everybody. I'm going to say grace.
Everyone quiet.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Oh,
All right.
Say grace, Gramps.
All right. All right. Oh Lord, we thank thee for these gifts that we're about to receive. And bless our lovely dinner guest and our lonely grandson. May they find eternal happiness together. Amen. Amen. Oh, it's a prayer. I can say whatever the hell I want.
Caitlin, before I'm dead, I want to see Nikki married.
If not, I have to go with her.
Hey, Caitlin, I bet you like to drink.
How do you mean?
Well, you're Irish.
Gramps!
The Irish like to drink, that's a secret.
Gramps, apologize now.
Well, actually, I don't mind a pint or two now and then.
See? What is to be used? You know, Caitlin, the Irish used to hate the Italians.
Gramps!
Yeah.
Change the subject.
So, Caitlin, tell me, do you drive?
Gramps.
Sure. Don't you?
Funny you should ask.
He had to stop. He's been getting into a lot of accidents lately.
Yeah, I've killed hundreds of people.
All right, here we are. Some nice bread.
Really, I think I'll just have some vegetables.
No veal, but it's from ShopRite.
Really, I can't. You see, I'm a vegetarian.
She's a what?
Vegetarian.
What the hell is that?
Animal doctor.
don't eat meat. What I do for a living is, well, I'm a nurse.
She's an animal nurse?
What do animals need nurses for?
Look, don't try to correct them, just write it out.
Whatever you do, I'm sure it's very nice. Now just pick a piece of veal.
Oh, really, I can't. I'm sorry. I should have told Emma before I came.
Oh, no need to apologize. Just take the piece of
She doesn't want any veal. The veal issue is closed.
But it's from ShopRite.
Man!
Really, the vegetables look wonderful. I'll just have an extra fork full of those.
Hey, the squash is beautiful from my garden.
Oh, it looks fabulous.
You could send it to the Pope.
The Pope would eat the veal, too.
So, Caitlin, tell us, how come a pretty girl like you doesn't have a boyfriend?
Caitlin, you don't have to answer that.
No, it's all right. I just like to think I haven't met the right guy lately.
Oh.
Well, maybe if you did something with your hair. What? I meant that nice. You know I meant that nice.
Caitlin, I would just like to take a moment and apologize for literally everything that has been said this afternoon.
What? We've said nothing bad. Newt, have we said anything bad?
No, we've been delightful.
Delightful?
Now don't mind Mickey, Caitlin. He just gets a little excited sometimes.
Oh, that's all right. I like passionate people.
Oh!
What a nice way of saying it.
See, we ain't loud. We're passionate.
So, Mickey, Caitlin hasn't had a date in a while.
No.
That's personal information.
Well, actually, she's right.
You see, we had a nice talk about it just the other day, right by the produce at Piedmont.
Oh, what did you buy in produce?
I don't remember.
She bought peppers.
Red peppers are great.
Oh, never buy red peppers from Piedmont. Woo, never.
I had a big fight with the manager about the zucchini.
They're talking about food. You might as well get comfortable.
Well, you know, the AMP has the freshest zucchini.
Yeah.
But you know what I like to do when I'm working late and I don't have a lot of time to cook? Well, what I do is I saute a little yellow squash, and then I melt the thinnest slice of provolone over the top. You add just a pinch of Parmesan. Now, you have to serve it with rye bread or Italian, preferably from Marzano's Bakery. It makes the best late night snack.
She is a dream come true.
What she irritated me the most is that she actually seems really terrific. But when your grandmother sets you up, you have every right to be disappointed.
So, Nick, say something attractive to Caitlin.
Cramps!
Nikki has a wonderful job, Caitlin.
Yeah, we don't know what the hell it is, but it's fantastic.
I'm a marketing executive.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, do you like it?
Yeah, I like it very much, actually.
But it's no animal nurse.
Hey, Josh, let the kids talk.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, you two. Pretend like we're not here.
Oh, like that's possible?
Now you're talking French.
I'm not talking fresh.
He's talking.
Gramps, quiet!
Hey, I can't be quiet. I'm passionate.
So, Caitlin, you having a nice time?
Oh, absolutely.
Caitlin, we're so glad you came.
Yeah, you'll have to come again soon. How about next Sunday?
Hey, we have dinner together every Sunday. We're a family.
Well, I have to say, it's really quite amazing. I mean, I look at the four of you and I see Nick here and I think, well, how many grown adults get to eat dinner with all four of their grandparents?
He's a lucky boy.
Like you ate the lottery.
Caitlin, when you come to Sunday dinner, next week you bring your grandparents with you.
Well, I'm sorry, Ada, but all of my grandparents have passed on.
Oh, what a shame. Look on.
Hey, now you have us.
Ha! There you go.
Well, thank you, Frank.
So,
he tells us that all his friends are in therapy.
Yeah. I know it's only the first course, but is there any other personal revelations that you'd like to say? Any bedwetting memories? Any special anecdotes about drooling? What else?
Really, you don't have to.
Maybe we should tell the rattle story.
Oh,
He wasn't nervous, man. And he only used to chew on his breath.
isn't that a funny story, man?
He also got caught in the 9th grade smoking dope.
Be quiet.
Hey, I thought we were telling stories.
Look, I just want to say this is going terrific, and I'm going to take all 4 of you on all future of my dates.
I think you'd all be wonderful fun on dates. I bet you're all great dancers.
We are.
But that doesn't stop us.
So please pass the salt.
Well,
Weapon.
your eye like a big piece of fire.
And so dinner went on. A beautiful meal. We enjoyed the meal and a nice fresh tomato garden salad. Then we had ravioli with eggplant on the side. Then we had coffee with ricotta cheesecake and fresh baked anisette cookies. And all through this beautiful meal, I looked at my grandson and the lovely girl sitting next to him, and I thought, yes, oh yes, he has found his reason to stay.
Everything was just delicious. Thank you, Ada.
Oh, you are very welcome. Now, for tonight when you're watching TV, I will take this meal and make for you a sandwich.
Nan, get back here.
No trouble at all.
Caitlin, you don't have to take the veal.
What's it gonna do? Kill him?
Nan, please.
It's all right. I'll take it.
Caitlin, you're our guest. You don't have to.
Yes, I know that, Nick.
Caitlin, we like you. We hope we see you again.
Oh, thank you, Frank. You've all been so sweet.
Hey, we're old. We're adorable.
All right, here we are.
Good night, Ada. Good night, everybody.
Bye!
Sweetheart!
See you in Pathmark!
Caitlin, I am deeply sorry for what just happened in there.
Oh, there's no need to apologize.
No, I feel I do. I feel I owe you something expensive. Like a nice vegetarian restaurant, perhaps. Look, I promise no one will ask you if you're in therapy. Okay.
I thought you didn't like blind setups.
Oh, well, I don't. I mean, but I like you.
Maybe.
Okay. Maybe's not bad. Look, my grandmother was right. She did good.
Oh. Nick, I have a confession to make.
Oh, no. You have a boyfriend.
No.
You have a girlfriend?
Oh.
You're really a man.
Oh.
Okay, what is it?
I knew you were going to be here tonight. That's the real reason I came. I don't know. I was feeling a little lonely and maybe a little desperate. Oh. No. Did I say that out loud? Okay. Yeah. Maybe a little desperate. And, well, I like your grandmother, so I thought maybe she had a grandson that... Oh, gosh.
Yeah, that's interesting. Well, then, if I may be so bold, what did you think of them as grandson?
Well, that's just the thing. I mean, seeing all four of your grandparents got me thinking about mine. And
That's right. You said that they were gone.
well, I knew my mom's mom. But I mean, that's the thing. You just spend the whole night yelling at them.
Oh, Caitlin, no, we weren't yelling. That's our family. That's how we speak to each other, you know? I figured you and your grandmother never spoke.
We never yelled. We talked.
Talked. Maybe I should try that sometime.
Actually, she used to read to me. Oh, not children's stories. No. You see, when my grandfather died, she started reading these really wonderful books as a way of getting through the day without him. You know, when I was 9 years old, she read me Great Expectations.
She read you Dickens in its entirety?
Well, it took 6 months. But you know how adults read to children, you know, to put them to sleep? Not my grandmother. No, she used to read to enthrall me. I'd hold on to her so tight. Her words would just wash over me like a blanket.
So, Caitlin, how about it? Dinner tomorrow night? What's wrong?
You see, Nick, when I was 13, my grandmother... I'm sorry, I can't do this.
What?
I mean, you seem like a nice guy and all, but you acted like a real jackass in there.
What?
I'm sorry, you and I going out, I just can't.
Caitlin, wait a minute. Caitlin, wait! You're desperate, you're walking out on me! Caitlin!
Well?
You know, you people are unbelievable.
Again, what are you people?
She turned him down.
You invited her over without asking me,
Nicholas,
which you had no right to do.
Nicholas, don't get so upset. I will get a fruit bowl.
No, Nan. No food, not now. Everyone just sit down and listen to me.
You see anyone standing?
Did any of you take into any consideration how I might feel? Did any of you take into any consideration of your scheming little plan, the one with Caitlin, which didn't work, by the way, was infringing on my life? Hell no! What, did you just think that we were going to meet and that we were going to fall in love and get married and be together?
Yes!
Well, it doesn't work like that, man!
Well, it worked that way for us.
That was 150 years ago, Gramps. I don't know if you know this, but we do things differently nowadays. We have careers. We have ambitions. We choose to fall in love with people who we choose and when we're damn good at ready.
Well, that's the problem right there.
But you people, you just want me to live my life your way. Well, you know what? What if I don't want to get married?
Well, that's great.
I'm talking, Gramps. Maybe I like my life the way I've made it. And I need to go find out what I'm about.
What?
You know something? I know why my parents and Melissa left. They couldn't be here with you people. Under constant criticism and judgment and interferences. And you know what? I was feeling guilty about going to Seattle, but you know what? Nothing would make me happier. I'm out of here!
Nicky!
In 1 month, I'm going to get on that plane, and I'm going to go to Seattle, and I'm going to date whoever the hell I want, and I'm not going to get set up by my grandmother, Canasta Parter's daughter, and I'm going to eat Chinese food when I want, and I'm going to go to therapy when I want, and I'm going to eat Chinese food while I'm in therapy if I want, because you know what? I don't know if you know this, but I'm a perfectly grown human being who's perfectly capable of making his own...
decided, no ma'am, ain't gonna hide it. So, I drove Nick to the hospital and I didn't hit anybody or anything. This was under great strain and stress because I thought my grandson was having a heart attack. Turns out, he was having an attack. A panic attack, they called it. The doctor said he had to stay in bed for a few days and get rid of everything in his life that was making him upset. So we figured the only thing to do was have him stay with us.
You know that song, Over the River, Through the Woods? It was such a happy song. All those people singing and dancing and...
Nicholas, what else can I get for you to eat?
Man, you've been feeding me nonstop for 2 days now. Could you please open up a window? It's so hot in here.
I don't want you to feel the draft.
Man, it's like a sauna. I keep expecting naked fat man in Palace to walk by any moment.
Yeah. You're being funny, that's all right. All right, I will get for you a thinner blanket. Oh, and the other nanny and grandpa are coming by for cannolis. But before they get here, Seattle, you might not go, right?
What?
Well, I was thinking you wouldn't have gotten so sick, so upset if you were sure you wanted to go.
No, man, that's not it.
No, listen. If you were 100% sure you wanted to go, but then on the other hand, you're 100% not sure at all.
I'm going to have to hear that one more time.
Nicholas, remember when you were sick and yelling at us that our parents left because they didn't want to be around us?
Sorry, man.
Nicholas, they didn't leave because they didn't want to be around us. They saw themselves as getting old, as living their whole life in one place. And they got afraid of becoming too much like us.
Man, they just wanted to move to a place with more sunshine.
Nicholas, no, Nicholas. People don't move away from their families because of the weather. No, they got afraid, and I think you are too.
No, Nan, that's not true.
No, it is. Sit down. Breathe, relax like the doctor said. Now, maybe I am wrong. Maybe I am just all wrong. But I'm not.
Nicky, how ya feel?
Hiya, Nicky.
Feeling fine, Nan.
You're looking good.
Thank you.
Nicky, you gave us such a fright collapsing like
I know,
that.
Nan. I know. It's...
So I got your mask
A
on.
NASCAR?
St. Anne's 10:30 Mass a week from Tuesday.
Hey,
They're going to have to name
Nicky.
this church after me. You know that, right?
Don't do that to us again, Nicky, okay? We're supposed to get sick, not you.
All right, Nicholas was getting hot, so we're going to get
Ah, it's perfect in here.
Here's a fin.
Perfect. Now that everyone's here, I just want to say that I just wanted to say about the other night when I said that you were interfering in my life.
Oh, Nicky, you were sick then.
No one listened to a word you said.
Besides, I got the perfect way for you to relax. Come with us on a vacation. We'll pay.
I don't know about that, man.
We're taking another one of those Mario Perillo tours next month.
Again with a Perillo tour.
Why?
Oh,
You had a wonderful time last year.
you're always going somewhere. You get on the bus, you get off the bus, you take a picture. You get on the bus, you get off the bus, you take a picture. On the bus, off the bus, take a picture. It was exhausting.
Now I'm supposed to be in Seattle.
Maybe he'll meet a nice girl on the tour.
On a Perillo tour? The girls are all 80 years old.
Mario Perillo is Mr. Italy.
Yeah, I don't think that trip would relax me one bit.
Hey, Nick, you rest here for a few more weeks, nice and quiet, and you think about that trip and Seattle some more.
Yeah. So, what should we do tonight, huh?
Oh, just nothing that gets Nicky too excited.
Hey, I know, Nick. Let's play that game you gave us. The one we don't understand. What's it called?
Trivial Pursuit.
That's it, where you have to answer things.
Oh, you feel up to playing a game like that, Nicky?
Nah, he'll drop dead from the excitement.
Shush.
Okay, you want to play the game? Let's play the game, all
I
right?
did.
Guess what I saw? Right by the deli counter at Bath Mart this morning. Caitlin O'Hare.
Oh, that's terrific. The last time you brought her here, you almost killed the boy.
She's still very nice, Nicky. And her aunt is a wonderful canasta player.
Well, that's what I look for in a woman. A canasta player. Now, can we just play the game, okay?
Anything you want, Nicholas.
Okay, how about, okay, teams.
No,
How about teams are me and you, Gramps, okay?
All right, Nick. Hey, you roll the dice and play the game for us, huh?
Okay, we're on green, all right?
All right.
Everett quiet.
Okay.
Okay.
We're ready.
All right.
Read the card!
Okay.
What is the process by which plants form carbohydrates
Carbohydrates.
when exposed to the light?
What the hell kind of question is that?
That's what it says.
Too hard. Give us another.
Right. All right.
Wait. If they can't answer, they lose their turn.
Well, what the hell kind of a question was that?
It was a science question.
It was about a plant.
Look. It's the first question, and I'm thinking hard yet. We'll give them another just for now. Okay.
Well, I forgot the whole they're not thinking hard yet factor.
Right. This is a nice one. Who started with Grace Kelly in High Noon?
Oh, that is a nice.
Oh, that actor.
What?
Yeah.
Right, the one with the ears.
That's the answer on the card? The one with the ears?
No, but I know who they mean.
They have to tell you who they mean, Gramps. That's why it's fun. That's why we play Trivial Pursuit.
Calm down, Nicky. Calm down. You're gonna have another attack. Okay. We'll think of who the guy with the ears is. Okay. Okay. Nice and calmly now. Who the hell is the guy with the ears?
Didn't Humphrey Bogart have his?
He dated Lana Turner.
Right. Jimmy Stewart. Yeah.
No, Jimmy Stewart didn't date Lana Turner.
No.
No, Jimmy Stewart was married to the woman with the hair.
No, the wacky guy with the nose was married to the woman with the hair.
No, that was the other woman with the hair. Jimmy Stewart was married to the woman with the hair with the face.
Didn't that woman with the face marry that guy with the face?
No, that was the guy with the feet.
Then who dated Lana Turner?
That gangster she killed. You know, somebody.
It was her daughter that killed the gangster with the butcher.
Yes, the daughter of a butcher. What was the question again?
Come on.
I remember the question. High noon.
Yes. The guy with the ears. What's his name? The guy with the wings.
Clark Gable was not in High Noon?
Get out of here. That's the mud.
Did you read the back of the card, Gramps?
Gary Cooper.
When Nicholas was in the hospital, I wish there was something, really wrong with him. So he wouldn't have to go, so that he would be forced to stay. So I could take care of him. Like I did when he was little. You always want to take care of them, don't you? Always. No matter how old they get, you always want to take care of them.
All right, in.
All right, here we go.
What author was appointed U.S. ambassador to Spain in 1842?
Give us another.
Wait. I know this.
You do not.
No. When you and that Mario Perillo dragged me to Spain, they had a little statue about this guy. I know this.
Oh, then what's the answer?
Hey! Who's your girlfriend who married that fellow who steals cars? What?
You mean Irene?
Yes! What's Irene's sister's name?
Gramps, do these questions have any big sort of point?
Shut up, you're sick. Irene's sister's name?
Which one?
The one who drinks.
They all drink.
The one who's not fat.
Irma!
Wait a minute, that's right, Irma. So, do you remember when we saw Irma at the shop, right, when they were having that special on frozen foods? 2 for 1, you buy 2, you get 1 free?
That's Food Town.
No, ShopRite.
Food Town has the buy 2, get 1 free specials. ShopRite has the double coupon days.
No, Pathmark has the big fish in the window.
Gramps!
What?
Yeah.
So, all right, now remember, what's her name? Irma! Remember when we saw Irma, and she was with this guy, and we were amazed because she wasn't drunk, and the guy had no teeth. So, yeah, what was that guy's name?
Oh, something.
Yes, a Jewish name. That was a Jewish name. A Jewish name. What's a Jewish name?
Ada, who do we know that's Jewish?
I think Henny Youngman is Jewish.
Oh.
Do we know Henny Youngman?
No! It's a name like Henny Youngman, but it's different. Who else?
Milton Berle.
No.
Sid Caesar.
No!
Shecky Green.
Gramps!
No!
You have the card.
Oh,
I
geez.
got caught up in the excitement.
Is Merv Griffin Jewish?
Oh, wait a minute. That's close. Mervin! Irving! That's the name of the guy Irving was with! Irving! The ambassador! Washington Irving!
That's right. She's right,
Wonderful, Nicholas.
Nicky, when we were your age, we laughed all the time. We didn't have much of anything, but we were always laughing. We always had fun. You take things too hard.
Hey, leave the boy alone, Emma.
No. We've all been quiet, saying nothing because we don't want to upset him. But I'm his nanny and I want to tell him something.
She's gonna give the boy another attack.
Nicky, I think you expect too much. You go looking for the perfect girl. And so you find no one. You spend so much time worrying about so much. Your job, where you live, what it means. You just expect too much.
Listen to your grandmother, Nick.
That's right. Because we never expected like you expected, Nicky. We were told a good life is when you find a husband and you have kids. And you put food on the table and you send your kids to school and you don't die doing it. That's a good life. Maybe we went ahead and told our kids they could have so much more. They could go to any school they wanted, have any job they wanted, meet wonderful people. Maybe that's the way it should be. And you already have so much more than we ever did, and we're so proud. But then you gotta go to a head doctor, and the whole family moves away from each other. We never had to do that. So did we make a better life for you, Nicky? It's not a worse life, but better. Maybe just different. Say he didn't have an attack.
All right, enough with the game. Who's hungry?
I could use some Danish.
All right, a Danish.
Wait.
Danish.
story is so good you don't even need food.
Ah, there's no such thing.
What story is that?
The story of how I met you.
Oh, stop! They don't want to hear the other
No, no, no. Tell it we like
Yes.
this.
Say right!
Yeah, but he always changes it.
Yes.
Tell it.
All right. Hey, Nikki, you want to hear it?
Say yes.
As long as it doesn't get me too excited.
All right, Nikki. Your grandmother used to live in this 4th floor walk-up, not far from here. And every night, I would climb over the fence, sneak into her backyard, and I would serenade her.
This is not true!
Would you please let me tell my story?
Story is right. I never met him. His father dragged him to my house. My father talked to him, his father talked to me, and then both fathers told us we were getting married.
And it was 55 years ago. Can't I just tell it the way I like it? All right. So, Nikki, when I first saw her, she was standing on a street corner. And it was a beautiful day. Oh, beautiful sunlight. And she was waiting for a bus.
I was the most gorgeous, eligible, popular girl in the entire neighborhood.
What?
Well, if you're telling the story the way you want, I'm telling the story the way I want.
All right. So, once I laid eyes on her, there was something about her. She was smiling, and I had never seen anything so fantastic. She was so beautiful you could drink her from a glass.
I was wrong. Every one of this is true.
Yeah, so naturally, I couldn't speak to her, so I just watched her get on the bus. But I waited there all day for her until another bus returned her to that spot. And when she strolled home, I followed her. And I went into her backyard, and I stood right underneath her bedroom window. I did this every night for a month. Every night for a month, I sang her the same song. Yes, sir. That's my baby.
Oh, wait a minute. Let me get the mandolin.
Yes, sir. That's my baby now. The night she finally came down, Nikki, I tell you what, I was so nervous I still couldn't speak words to her, so I just kept on singing.
Yes, ma'am, we decided. No, ma'am, we won't hide it. Yes, ma'am, you're invited.
You know, whenever I see old black and white movies, I can't help but think that that's what my grandparents' lives were like. That they lived these very black and white lives, very serious, joyless, really. But sometimes, not very often, but sometimes, I'd get a glimpse into what they were like. And suddenly their past would be splashed with color. And I'd get a peek into what they were like when they were young and sexual, and their whole lives were laid out before them.
All right, Nicholas. I will teach you this dance. I'm your partner. Away, here we go. Here we go. Come here.
We'll
Here we go. Ready?
With feeling.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. That's my baby. No, sir.
I don't mean maybe fancy.
Yes,
sir. That's my baby. Oh, Nicholas, you're wonderful. All right, here we go. Keep coming up. All right, who's hungry?
Oh, how about you and me going home?
No. You don't want to be leaving early, do you, Nicky?
No, please go.
This is the reason I want you married, Nicky. This is the reason.
Come on!
fine, Gramps. You know what's funny?
What?
I have never seen any of you like that before.
Well, that's because you're never here, Nick.
What are you talking about? I'm here every Sunday.
Yeah, like a habit, like going to church, but you're never here.
Hey, Gramps. How about a story?
Story. I can't tell stories like Noons.
No, a true story. What was it like when you left your family?
Why do you want to know that, Nick?
I mean, your father was a fisherman, right? And
Yeah.
why did he make you leave?
Oh, Nick, you know the problem with old stories, you tell them, and you realize that people never change. They do the same thing over and over again.
What do you mean?
When I was a little boy, every Christmas morning, on the cobblestones in town, there would appear this sea of vendors. Oh, their carts covered with toys. And what I remember most is the colors, the bright reds and blues and oranges, like a rainbow of toys. Oh, and my father would take me in his arms and carry me to the first cart, and he would point to some tiny, dark toy, and I pointed to the biggest and most colorful, and my father would shake his head no, and we'd go on to the next, and I'd point to another beautiful toy. My father shake his head again, and we'd move on. We did that again and again until we had gone to each cart. And then he'd buy me some little gray toy I barely wanted. I'd stop crying and he'd carry me back into the house. I resented him for that, hated him for that. And then when I was 14, he put me on a boat to America and says, "Goodbye, that's where you're going to live." I was 14. I hated him for that too. Not long after, he got tangled in a fishing net that was being thrown into the water. His head hit the side of the boat and they never found him. 8 years from the day he sent me away, I returned to my hometown so my mother and my sisters could meet my new family. My family. It was during the holidays, and Christmas morning, I took your mother in my arms and I carried her outside. There they were, all the vendors, like they had never left, with all the blues and reds and beautiful toys. And your mother, she'd point to the brightest and prettiest, and I would buy it for her. And any one she pointed at, I bought for her. And when we went back in, our arms full of this rainbow of toys, my mother took one look and says, "That's what your father wished he could do. But we barely had enough for food on Christmas. That's why your father had to send you away, so you could make for yourself a life he could never give you." I always thought my father was a bastard, wouldn't give me anything. Turns out, he was giving me all he had. You're still going away, aren't you, Nick?
There's this moment when I wake up each morning and I don't remember I'm sick. I mean, it only lasts a few seconds, but it's like this little gift I get at the start of each day. That night, I told my Emma. The first time I ever cried about it was when she began to cry. I told her not to tell anyone. That was for me to do. But it would be so selfish of me to tell him. So selfish. But when you get to be my age, you realize that what matters is family. What matters is family. What's in Seattle? Just some job?
Nick.
Hello?
How are you feeling?
I'm fine.
Do you mind if I...
Yeah, come on in. Look, I'm wrapped up like a newborn, but yeah, come on in, have a seat.
I really hope I'm not intruding. I saw Emma today, and...
Right, Pathmark. Shop Town. Wait, no, Pathmark's the one with the big fish in the window, right? Look, I've been here too long.
Emma told me that you collapsed the other day after I left.
Well, that's hard. That's a little hard to explain.
Well,
See, it's,
she said you had a panic attack because I rejected you.
I love that woman.
I really hope that wasn't the case.
No, Caitlin.
Well, because when a guy asks me out, I don't normally call him a jackass.
Well, that's good. You probably get more dates that way.
I thought I heard the doorbell. Caitlin, how are you?
Hey,
How are you? You look hungry.
She has this remarkable sense about her.
Let me make for you something.
Really, you don't have to. I just came to see how Nick was feeling.
He's fine. He just gets a little nervous.
I used to chew on my rattle.
But let me make for you something a little special.
Oh, really? You don't
No trouble. Keep it here. No trouble.
Okay, you have 3 minutes before she comes back with a 12-pound fully dressed butterball turkey.
Nick, I'm really sorry about the other day. You didn't deserve what I said to you. You see, when I was 13, my grandmother, she had just started reading me The Old Man and the Sea. And, you know, there were these days where she would read with such passion and joy. And then there were these days where she wouldn't let me through the door because she didn't recognize me. She would just stand there screaming at me to get away, leave her alone, and her eyes just darting back and forth.
Sorry. I didn't know.
Those eyes still haunt me to this day. And I'm sorry too, Nick. I should have told you.
I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was the way she was standing there with the light shining through the window, hitting her face, or if it was because this woman, she came back to apologize to me. She rejected me. But in this moment, she struck me as the most beautiful and most intelligent person on this planet. And then I had this horrible thought. Could my grandmother actually be right? Do I really want to move? Is all I need to be happy is the right woman?
Emma told me that you might be moving to Seattle. That you have a job offer?
Promotion, actually.
Oh, that's great. Do you know anybody there?
No, it's just a promotion.
Well then.
Yeah.
You know, it's been good seeing you, Nick, but I'm on shift in a half an hour and I really can't be late. There are sick animals to be taken care of. So.
Caitlin!
Yeah?
Look, I know the other night when, look, I want to take you on a real date, Caitlin, okay? No relatives, all right?
But I thought you said you're moving to Seattle.
Well, I might, you know. I don't know, I haven't,
Well, what happens if we decide to go out and we find out we like each other and then you decide to move?
I wish I knew.
It's been good seeing you, Nick. Thank you for the date offer and all, but I don't know. I just spend the whole time hoping I didn't like you, and that'd be too weird, so I'll see you later.
Yes, sir. That's my baby. Oh, sir. I don't mean baby. Yes, sir. That's my baby now.
Excuse me?
Well, if that song worked, it's golden.
Wow. All right, yeah. If you decide to stay, call me. A date with no relatives. You're on. But if you decide to go, then go. Make a new life for yourself. Sometimes you just have to be a little selfish. You know that right there? Where I didn't immediately agree to go out with you? That might be the most mature thing I've ever done.
Here we are.
Nunzio and I have been together for 55 years. Close your eyes and just imagine it. 55 years. That's what Nicky doesn't understand. That by trying to plan out his life so much by staying away from marriage, he missed that. He'll never know what that is like. How love and deep, the places you never imagined. 55 years.
News, can I get you another pillow?
No, I'm fine.
Are you sure? It's no trouble at all. Just grab another.
I'm fine.
Hello?
Oh,
Oh, there you are, Nicky.
I'm so sorry.
We're starving.
Why are you so late?
I'm sorry.
heaven forbid, we thought you had another attack on the box.
Good thing I was here to entertain the crowd for you, Nick.
I'm sorry I'm late. I was seeing my head doctor. And, look, we had a lot to talk about.
Did you talk about your panic attack?
Yeah,
What did he tell you, Nick?
to calm down.
And for that, you paid him money.
All right, dinner is waiting. Everything is beautiful.
I have something to say.
No, talk and eat. You're late.
I'm
Mangiapo.
sorry, it's about Seattle.
Go ahead, Nick.
Look, these last few weeks, they've been wonderful, you know, and I don't know, I feel like we've had a little more time to talk than we usually have, and that we've connected a little better, you know.
Nicholas, it was beautiful having you here.
I would like more time like that.
Nicky, you're staying.
I'd like more time like that in the next few weeks. But I'm going to Seattle. I think at the end of the month.
Nicky.
Man, it's not too terrible of a plane hike. You know, you can always come visit. Look, I've worked really hard for this promotion. I just wish everyone would understand, you know?
I don't understand, Nicholas, how you can just leave. How can you just leave? We're here. Everything is here. Your family is here. Why does everybody get so afraid? Aren't we worth staying for, Nicholas? How can you just leave? I don't understand, Nicholas. How you can just leave? I don't understand.
Gramps, you know the last thing I want to do is hurt Nan or...
What do you want me to say now, huh, Nick? Stay. Please don't leave us. Go. You have my blessing. I can't, Nick. I can't. Because no matter what I say, what anybody says, you're going to leave us. Everybody goes. I wish I was more like my father. I wish I could stand on the shore and watch you sail away and know it's for the best. But I'm sorry, Nick. I can't. I can't. I worked my whole life so my family, I'm not good at saying things, Nick. I just don't want you to go. Luce, come. Your grandmother's made for us a beautiful meal. Mangiamo, mangiamo. Ada!
Nicky, your grandfather has something he has to tell you.
Come on.
He has to tell you, isn't he?
What is it, Gramps?
What I have to tell you, Nick, is I have to... Wait a minute. Do you remember my telling you that I've been thinking about your Uncle Nicky lately?
Yeah.
Well, I've been thinking about him a lot because, well, I've been thinking about the time we had to say goodbye. You know, it's strange. He would have been in his 50s now. But I can only think of him as young. I always think that I should be able to picture him as older, having lived the life that he should have lived. But all I can see is this perfect young man waving goodbye in his uniform. And I knew how dangerous Korea was. I knew it. And still, I just stood there and I waved back. But inside, Nicky, inside, I was wishing so hard that there was something that I could say or do, anything at all, that would make him stay. But there was nothing, Nicky. Nothing. And now you're leaving. Wait a minute. Hey, Nicky, I want to ask you something first, and I want you to tell me the truth. You tell me the truth, all right, Nicky?
I will.
All right. Wait, right before you had your attack that night, when you were yelling, right, you said something about wanting to find out what you were about, something like that.
Gramps, I was upset.
No.
Okay, I was...
Nicky. If there's one thing that I've learned, is when people are upset, that's when they say what they mean. So what did you mean by that? Hey, tell me, Nicholas.
It's just that... Look, I grew up here my whole life, Gramps. With you and Nan, and it's wonderful. I'm grateful for all of that, but I just don't need it anymore. And I'm sorry if that sounds rude or ungrateful, but I need to go to Seattle, Gramps. It's a place that I can give more of myself. I'm sorry.
So, Seattle, huh? And this is not just about a job, right? This is something that you feel you have to do to make your life, to be happy.
Yes.
And you know this. You know this as much as you know anything.
Yes, Gramps.
Okay. Okay.
What did you need to tell me, Gramps?
Nothing.
Gramps.
Well, what I had to say to you, Nicholas, what I have to tell you, is that I will always be there with you. So you be good. He has to go, sweetheart. He has to go.
We have to tell him.
Sweetheart, I know all that. I know all that.
Nicky.
He has to go.
Dinner came beautiful on John.
Man, what is it?
I just really thought she had a chance with Caitlin, Nicky. I really did.
Well, with all the hassles that a new job and moving bring, I had little time to spend with them those final few weeks. And that Sunday seemed to arrive so quickly that I wish I knew what the formula was. You know? How can you pay someone back for their devotion? How much do you owe those who care for you? Can it ever be enough?
Hey, Nicky! I hope you noticed, but in your honor, your grandfather put on the air conditioner today.
I thought I could breathe better. Thank you.
It was a beautiful meal, wasn't it?
Stunning, man.
We made all your favorites. Veal parmesan, gnocchi, tiramisu, biscotti. You're not going to get a meal like that in Seattle, Nicky.
I know, Nan. Nan, I'm sorry.
For what?
For leaving, you know, it's...
No, Nicky, honey. You're not sorry.
Nan, I am sorry. You know,
Maybe you feel bad because you love us, but you're not sorry. And I think that's good. You have a wonderful life ahead of you in Seattle. Why waste time being sorry? If I was sorry for every sad thing that happened in my life, I wouldn't be able to get out of bed anymore. There's one thing I know for sure, Nicky. You can't keep the people you love the most around forever. You can pray, and you can scream, and you can cry. You still can't keep them forever. Honey, you know, I never used to think you looked much like your Uncle Nicky. You were named for him, but I could never really see him in you. When I was looking at you, you look exactly like him. Just try to be happy, Nicky. There's no reason for you to be sorry.
Nicholas, did your grandfather tell you
what?
he's selling the car?
No, he didn't mention that.
He tried driving to his mandolin lesson the other night and dented the fender. You want to know how?
How did he?
Pulling out of the garage. Didn't even make it to the street. Thank God no one was killed.
Nicky, before I forget, I got you another mascot.
I wouldn't have left town without one, man. Gramps, man just told me you're selling the car.
Oh yeah, I got bored with driving.
It's terrific, Gramps. I would have been worried sick about you.
Oh, don't you ever worry about me, huh?
My taxi should be here any minute now.
Nicholas, I made you this to take on the airplane. A lasagna.
Man, I don't think I can take a lasagna on an airplane.
Why not?
That just seems like something you can't do.
Fine. I'll mail it.
You're gonna mail me a lasagna?
I just mailed your sister 12 pounds of fettuccine alfredo.
Thank you. Gramps. Look, okay, no real goodbyes, okay?
Goodbye, Nick.
I said no goodbyes.
I forgot the rules. Goodbye, Nick.
Gramps.
Tengo familia, Nicola. Tengo familia. You know what that means.
Call us when the plane lands.
But don't spend any money.
Just let the phone ring twice.
You're all something else, you know that? Look, I have to do this.
I love you, Nicholas. Who's hungry?
He's gone. How can you talk of food now? Maybe just some provolone. Everybody goes.
6 hours later, I was on that airplane to my new home, Seattle. And 2 days after that, a 15-pound lasagna arrived for me in the mail. My new job, loved it. More responsibility, more challenging. And, and within a month, I met someone. Account executive. Her name's Teresa, and from the moment I saw her, I knew she was really special. And then, 2 months after that, I get a phone call. So I fly back to my grandparents to attend the funeral of my grandfather, Nunzio. He died from prostate cancer. It spread to his liver and his kidneys. Now my grandmother, she knew about this before I left, but she felt it wasn't right that she should burden me with it. Burden me, man? Why couldn't you just have said anything? Anything at all. If someone would have said something, no question, I would have stayed.
2 years. after Nicholas left, my Frank, my baby passed away. I shared a meal every day for almost a year, until she too suffered a severe stroke and passed away. God rest them all. I still cook. I cook for myself 2 meals a day and something a little special on Sunday. And I still see my Nicholas. Because of his new job, he comes to New York often, and he always pays his grandmother a visit.
Hello?
Oh,
Nan, it's me. I'm so sorry. Nan, how are you?
Wonderful.
Nan, it's so hot in here.
Really?
Nan, look.
Let me put the ravioli in the water.
Nan, I'm sorry the conference ran long. Look, let's not eat.
No, the water's already boiling.
Let's just talk.
The ravioli, sweetheart, it came beautiful.
It's always beautiful, Nan. I have something to say. Nan, I'm moving.
Back home.
To Portland. And look, I got another promotion. It's a vice president.
Oh, is Teresa going with you?
No, she's staying in Seattle.
But you're engaged.
That's right, Nan. It's we fly back and forth on the weekends to see each other. It's something called a commuter relationship. It's very modern. It's very annoying, too. Nan, I was thinking, and I had this idea. Move to Portland with me, Nan. It's a beautiful city. Nan, you spent so long here taking care of Gramps. Move to Portland with me, Nan. I promise you won't have to cook anymore. I'll take you out to eat every night, except Chinese. Nan, there's no one here for you to care for anymore.
Nicholas, do you know where I always wanted to go? Atlantic City. Noons and M had such stories. But I could never get your grandfather to go to such a fancy place. But you know what I did once? I prepared a plate and I left it in the icebox and I went. And you know what? I didn't like it because I spent the whole time I was there wishing I was back home, taking care of your grandfather. He needed me so much, Nicholas. How many people get to be my age and can say that there was someone that needed them that much? I can say that, Nicholas. I can't go. Not from here. Nicholas, your grandfather built me this home. How can I go? Stay for dinner, please.
How long after that, I achieved what my grandparents considered to be the greatest accomplishment known to man. I was married. And now Teresa and I sit at our home in Portland, awaiting the birth of our firstborn. My mind often wanders back here. These few final moments spent here at my grandparents'. And I wish I could neatly sum up how much they mean to me and how they fit into the puzzle of my life. But what I could see clearly is that my grandparents worked every day of their lives to ensure that their family would be more educated and more successful than they ever were. What they didn't foresee is that they would elevate me to a life so far removed from their own, they could barely comprehend who I had become, or how I would continue their legacy. When I look back at them, I too see a vague reflection of myself. But still, they let me go. They got me to laugh. And to this day, I still get great food in the mail.
Everything came beautiful, didn't it, Nicholas?
Beautiful.
I'll say
We have some of the actors here tonight. We're getting excited about that. So thank you again.